Cancers, don't get revenge this August. Just choose happiness. It'll go so much better for you. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Shalom all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to our Transformational Tarot for August as part of my Black Feather Couture Divining a VIP Life series. So excited to be connecting with you guys today. So we are going to be pulling an overarching theme for your month from the Self Sorcery Oracle deck from Lisa Lister. And then I was really called to pull the Villains Tarot deck. This is a Disney Tarot deck. And yeah, let's just sort of see what's coming up. I feel like I want to say on an energetic level, this is a month where you're really people are going to just annoy the crap out of you. So I feel like we need to kind of bolster you up and give you some how do I want to say it? Some positive energy and positive strategy on how to handle it and move forward. So let's get to it. All right, so we are going to pull an overarching theme for you at this time. And it's interesting that I was called to pull the villains because I felt like, yeah, you're gonna get frustrated because you're gonna feel like there are a lot of villains in your life. A revolution of the heart. Oh, I love this one for you guys. So I really feel like this is what is going to be required for you to combat anything that comes your way this month. It is that revolution of the heart. It's coming from the heart. And I mean, you guys already do that on a fairly regular basis, but sometimes you can close your heart off. You can shut yourself off in, I want to say, sort of protection mode, trying to protect yourself. This is not that month. And it's fascinating to me that you've got revolution in this as a word in your spread, because we are kind of astrologically right now in a more revolutionary sort of energy. And I feel like you're choosing to put your focus to that being through the heart space. So I want to say it's like, how can you love more fiercely? How can you express your feelings and emotions through the heart in a more direct way, in a clear way? Yes, the heart can express anger, frustration, rage, but it does it in a very different way than I would say the soul expresses it, or that your mind expresses it, that the ego expresses it. So that revolution of the heart space, I feel like there's going to be a lot of heart-based and related themes that are coming up for you. And it's going to be choice in how you can react to it or respond to it. Look at all the red and the pink here. Passion, fire, root chakra energy, also the unconditional love, self-care, self-compassion, and self-forgiveness. It's how do I want to be treated? That's how I'm going to treat the other person or the circumstance that I'm dealing with. It's all about you, but it's about you so that you can be in service to others. Wow. You're also, I feel like we're going to see how the cards come up, but I feel like you're also laying some foundation here. I want to say not only are you laying foundation, but I'm just adjusting the thing here. Not only are you laying foundation, but you are adjusting boundaries in a really big way. And I feel like those boundaries are super important. Sorry. Still trying. The cats come up and they nudge the camera, so it's like it's never, I get it just right, and it lasts for about 3 seconds, and then one of them comes up and messes with it. So it's about boundary setting, and I want to say, what is the boundary setting process that's going to work on your behalf and going to work best for you? Because that's what's really important here. Okay, so this is your present moment. This is where you are right now in your transformational journey. What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Okay, well, that was pretty clear. So we have the Two of Coins. How interesting. So this is Two of Pentacles. in this deck of coins or pentacles. And it's interesting that it is Sir Hiss. Sir Hiss is from Robin Hood. And P.S. and FYI, I don't know all of these characters, so I'll only, reference the ones that I actually know. But Sir Hiss is clever. He's a little manipulative. He's almost like he could have been used as the magician here as well. Instead, he's the Two of Coins. So it's like balance is the illusion. I'm always seeking a level of balance. Why do I never feel in balance? Because balance is subjective. It changes from day to day. It changes from situation to situation. It changes from feeling to feeling. And I feel like where you're at right now in your transformational journey is you're recognizing, I keep seeking balance and I'm not able to find it. And I feel like this month in August, you're going to come to that realization of, oh, the reason why I can't find it is because it doesn't exist in a pre-made container. It's not a pre-packaged deal. It's something that I need to be very present and in the moment in order to be able to create for myself. I see you like cutting cords, cutting strings that have kind of held you in place. And I feel like those strings at a time were necessary. They were important for you. I feel like this was like a post-COVID sort of situation. And now you're recognizing, oh, I no longer need these guardrails, right? Like I no longer need the strings to hold me in place. In fact, it's time for me to move out of that structure. And I need to now be more in flow. Snakes are always about transformation, wisdom, healing, the healing arts. It can also be the snake in the grass. And I feel like the snake in the grass in this case for you is all of these strings and this concept that I still need those things. I'm still in that space. I feel that there's going to be a bit of I won't say it's like an aha moment, like the light bulb or the penny dropping, but I will say that there's a slow to medium realization, almost like if you've ever been under anesthetic, it's like you're not there and then all of a sudden you just come to. It's almost like a phase in, a phase out, and a phase in. It's like you phase into this realization of, oh, I've been held in place by a lot of these things, and maybe being held in place at the time was necessary, but now it's not. So the present moment is giving you permission to acknowledge that this is no longer what I need. The snake in the grass is no longer what I need. It's no longer what is required. Interesting. Okay. The catalyst, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? And is this resistance or rocket fuel? Interesting. Four of Wands. So this is Jafar from Aladdin. A great villain. Here's the thing. Four of Wands typically is celebratory. It's establishing something, establishing a foundation, recognition that I'm moving on from one place to the next. And I feel like you're not seeing this as a celebration. You're seeing this, or have been seeing this as, oh my God, here's another thing that's going to shift in my life. And not that you're necessarily afraid of the shift, but I feel like you're tired. You're tired. And you're like, okay, with every shift comes something that I have to do extra, comes a next step for me in the process. And I don't know that I've got the energy for that next step. I almost feel a weariness that's happening here. But I want to say to you, this as the catalyst has the opportunity or has the potential to fuel your enthusiasm if you're able to witness the entire scope of what is actually transpiring for you. And if you notice, each of his wands is different. He's holding his, snake staff. He's got a yellow wand, a red wand, and a blue wand. So if I'm looking at it from a chakra perspective, the blue is the throat chakra, finding your truth, speaking your truth, learning to communicate it in a creative way. The red is the root chakra. I feel safe. I feel secure. I not only survive, I thrive. I have all of my resources and my needs met. And the yellow, the solar plexus chakra. This is my identity, my personal power, my co-creation, my mastery. It's all available here. And then I've got this wisdom that's coming up, coming up and coming through. And behind all of it is this spirit energy. I feel like if you give spirit a chance to work through you in this capacity, the spirit is the catalyst, then the next contract that you're making, the next contract that you are investing in, the next person that you are investing in, it's going to make more sense. Fours are foundational. And I feel like right now you're resisting a little bit of that foundation. Again, we need to break the strings that are holding you in place over here so that you can then establish like your own pool. You as a water sign and as water energy, we can look at it from that perspective. Here we were trying to contain you in a place that, not that you didn't belong, but it was only supposed to be temporary. We were doing it for our own needs. Well, now that you've broken away, you're like, but it's time for me to build a new pool. It's time for me to go in a different direction, to experience and explore for myself. Again, we are letting go of a particular way we've been of service and in service to others. And we're releasing ourselves of that so that we can open ourselves to a broader pool. And will that contain service to others? Absolutely it will, but it's going to look different. And I feel like it's going to be a little more on your own terms. So don't resist that energy. You're going to have the things that you need. It's all right here. It's just a matter of you looking past the level of investment that it's going to appear to be, because that I feel is a deterrent. That's going to pull you away from that. But that's ultimately what you want to be leaning into. Interesting. Okay, let's see what's next on that. That's very interesting. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? This one is always important. This is the one that stands out to me here. The moon. Oh my God. Yes. So this is your happy place. This is your card. Well, one of your cards. You have two cards, but this is one of your cards. And I feel like the deep root here is that there's a part of you that just wants to stay comfortable. You want to stay in your own, like what you know to be your truth, what you know to be peaceful, easeful, where you don't have to, you can just kind of be. And I feel like August is inviting you to step out of that right now, because you've kind of been disillusioned. The service that you've been doing for a lot of other people, not to say that it's wrong or anything, it's not wrong, but it's been for them. And I feel like right now, this is more about you. And so there's that part of you that feels like, I just want to stay here because this has felt homey. This has felt easeful to a certain degree, or I've gotten comfortable with it. I've gotten to know it. The devil you know versus the devil you don't. But the moon is coming through to say, it's time for us to be able to move forward. This is no longer safe for you at this time, because it's keeping you from that ultimate growth that you're here to learn and you're here to have. And a lot of that has to do with being more at the center of your own life and your own choices in terms of how you choose to connect. I also feel like there's a subconscious fear, maybe, that if you step out of this energy and you show yourself, and you really are just all the things that you are, that somehow it's going to be misconstrued, that someone is going to take it and bastardize it. Someone is going to take that and manipulate it for their own means. And this feels like a past life or a parallel life memory. We could talk about this in terms of hopes and fears as well, but that comes later. I feel like if this resonates with you, this particular message, it's understanding that a lot of that is driving what's happening here, but it's not truth. And you, as the moon, you're so intuitive. You have this, I want to say, this direct connection to the moon. You know, the moon regulates the water, and you are a water sign. It's like it's your home energy, your home frequency. Remember, you have more power than you realize. So I feel like this is a remembrance of that. It's a message to readjust your power center. I guess is how I would put that, or to reorient yourself to your power center. It's here to help you, not to hinder you. What is dying away? What part of you is falling away at this time? And what role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Wow, these cards are really speaking to you. So we got 10 of coins. Yeah, so what's dying away is exactly what we said before. What you've been in for a really long time, the people that you've been serving, the way that you've been serving them is no longer necessary. It's no longer required. There's enough of a legacy that has been created that you can let it go and walk away. It is time for the new. It's already, the foundation has already been created. Again, it's you coming back to your water roots. You know, you've been on vacation for a little while. You've been in that earthly energy, right? You've combated the fire. Now it's time to come back into that water space. I feel it's as simple as that. It's a recognition that you have come to the end of this particular chapter. And yeah, there can be some sadness with that, but there's also a lot of joy because you want to reflect on all the things that you have created and been a part of creating. Anything else that needs to be created after that, in this regard, it's no longer your circus or your monkeys. It is about the new. And I feel that there's almost like a refreshing energy for you around accepting and knowing that there is something new that's coming down the pike. Because I feel like intuitively you've been wanting that for a while. You've just forgotten because you've been so focused on this for a long time that this feels so foreign. But I want to say you'll get your sea legs again. You know, once you learn how to swim, you never forget. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you never forget. So I feel like that's kind of what this is about. Let go of the old legacy because it's time to create a new one. Highest potential. This is your highest phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is the breakthrough energy. Holy shit balls. Okay, look, we've got a 10 of coins now. We've got the 10 of cups. So 10s, new beginnings based on an already established foundation. Again, you're coming back home. Home is your cups. Cups is your happy place. That is your water space. And I feel like with the 10 of cups, it's an evaluation of things to come. It's the beginning of something new and different based on something that already has been. It's almost like I just keep hearing homecoming. Like this in August is the invitation for you to really feel so comfortable in your own skin. This is you. I want to say it's you as Ariel. You know, Ariel. You know, you had your vacation with Eric on land. You got your legs, your human legs, but you can also go back into the water. It's visiting your family. It's visiting your hometown. Going back to your roots, which happen to be deep in the ocean. I'm also hearing that for the majority of you, there's going to be a familial incident. So something connected to your original family that is going to be a little bit difficult to deal with, but you are going to be the person that saves the day. You are going to be the person that has the right answer or is the individual that a lot of people come to be able to solve the problem. And that's going to really enrich you in a lot of ways. It's going to make you feel really good, feel more connected to your people. Or if you are estranged from your original family, I feel like what this is going to do is bring in more confidence in keeping those boundaries up, keeping those ties severed. There will be an opportunity for healing, but it's not necessarily going to be, I want to say, like a direct connection. It's going to be healing that comes through in a different way and on a different path. Wow, I love this. So your soul is calling you home, but it's not about going backwards. It's about coming home with your newfound wisdom so that you can then chart a course ahead in a different direction. Wow. And you might be teaching some people along the way. You might be sharing your wisdom and knowledge along the way. All right. So, what is emerging for you at this time? What is just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? Another cup. Oh my God. So, I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. Oh, I love it. Okay. So, Page of Cups. This is he's a pirate. He's a pirate. I think he works for Captain Hook, if I'm not mistaken. He's either a pirate or he's one of the dwarves. I'm pretty sure he's a pirate. Here's what I'm getting. This is a card of creativity. This is a card of innocence, creative innocence, creating from the heart space, creating something out of nothing. This is the child who gets handed a box of crayons and a pad of paper and isn't told what to do with it or how to draw or anything, just gets handed this stuff and figures it out and creates these incredible masterpieces and loses themselves in hours and hours of this creative energy and flow. And they're able to tell this most beautiful story on the other side of it. And they, have like 5 or 6 or 10 different pictures. And when you come back to them and you say, oh my goodness, look at what you have created. Tell me about what you've drawn. And they're like, oh, is that what I did? I was drawing? Well, I drew this with this person and that such and such and so and so. And then I created this. And here's the thing, the monster from the depths of the sea. And here's the space creature that comes to save the day and takes care of my cow. And I've got that. And I mean, like, it's just so, as an adult, we listen to that and we find it cute. We find it humorous. But I feel like we also need to find it fascinating because it brings us back to our roots. We all started our lives out with that innocent curiosity. You don't know what you don't know until you know it. And I feel like that's the energy of what is emerging for you, is this new version of yourself that wants to come up and come through. And there's no shyness. There's no, it has to look a certain way. There are no, again, the strings have been cut. So there's no boundary here for you. This is the opportunity for you to throw some spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. And maybe it's not even to see what sticks. You're just throwing spaghetti because you love how it looks. You love how it falls. You love how it, is suspended in the air for a half a second. You love the feeling, the texture of the noodles, right? I feel that there's a level of sensuality here, but also a level of bringing things back to the basics, and the basics being our senses, the 5 senses, right? The physical senses that house and create a vessel for the intuition, the 6th sense, the psychic, the all of those things. Also, I can't help but notice here, like, there's a level of cleaning, like he's trying to shave. He's got a shaving bowl and, the shaving brush. But I also want to say it's cleaning. Like, I feel like there's a component here of, like, when you shave, you're clean shaven, right? It's a hygiene thing. And I feel like this is spiritual or energetic hygiene that is happening. And you're going to have a blast with it. You're going to have so much fun. Allow yourself to submerge yourself in the fun and the joy of it all. The challenge is that there's going to be a lot of chaos going on around you in August that's going to give you the impression that maybe I shouldn't have fun. I feel all sorts of things. I don't know that I'm feeling naive. I don't know that I'm feeling, super joyful at the moment, or, like I want to be creative. But I want to say to you, that's the frequency and energy of what this is. Cleaning out your energy, because your energy's been focused with a bunch of other things and stuff and people. That needs to be cleared out for the new to be born. You in this process, how are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Oh, I love it. So the magician is all about creativity as well. So you start off small. You start off as the child who, just draws ten pictures out of their own imagination. And then you elevate, you sort of graduate up to, okay, now I have a sense of what I'm going to do. And now I want to be more intentional about what it is that I'm creating. And so instead of the box of crayons, I'm going to ask my mom and dad, or my guardian, or my parental figure, to provide me with watercolor markers. And I need a special kind of paper. Or I don't want to color and draw anymore. I want to paint. So I feel like you in this process, it's stepping up and really acknowledging, I'm ready now for things that mean something to me. I know what I need in order to create the things I want to create. I'm specializing, if you will, in this new energy, in this new frequency. I'm really drawn to a lot of the green because I feel like what is transpiring for you here is a lot of growth, but it's growth that is, the word that keeps coming to my mind is earned. It's growth that is earned. And it's earned because you are now saying, like, you're no longer the puppet. There's the string here, right? And he's holding a little puppet or a necklace or, something here. It's like, no, I've already cut all of those strings. So I'm in charge of my own strings. And again, I'm telling the universe what it is that I need, right? I know, universe, that I need this and this and this. And I'm not going to ask for permission for that. I'm simply going to command and demand what it is that I'm requiring at this time, because I now know I've gone through this process and I'm so excited to expand. And now I know the resources that I need. So this is resource gathering in a lot of ways. This is you in the process. Don't be afraid to ask for what it is that you need. Circles of support. Who is influencing, or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it a positive or negative influence? So we have the 9 of Wands. Wow. Okay. I feel like, even though this isn't the card of defense, that's a 7 of Wands, I'm getting a lot of like defensive energy. And I feel like this is how you're going to feel at times when you're letting other people know how you're moving, how you're transforming, what is shifting, what is coming about and coming through for you, what decisions you're making as you're moving forward. And there's almost this energy of people trying to talk you out of it, or asking a lot of questions like, why? But why are you doing this? But why are you doing that? And I want to say to you, said with love, it's nobody's business but your own. So I would almost say to you here, choose wisely the people that you share this deeply personal journey that you are on, because I feel that that's exactly what it is. This is a deeply personal journey into the depths of your soul. It's a reconnection to you, and it's a you that's always existed, but this is the first time that it's had the ability to come out, come up for air, or to shine its light. And other people don't necessarily understand, especially the people that you've been serving for so long in the way that you've been serving them. They might have some objection to you saying, I'm not going to do that any longer, or I'm not going to work on that in quite that way. So again, this is not the 7 of Wands, but I almost am, from an intuitive level, I'm reading it as 7 of Wands. What is 9 of Wands? 9 of Wands is a card of resilience. It's a card of control. Being in control, being out of control, throwing away your control, grasping onto control. And I feel like this is what other people are trying to do as you are explaining yourself, or as you are sharing of yourself. But remember, there's a difference. You can choose to share your life, choose to share things about yourself and your choices. But it's not, I want to say, it's a privilege for other people to receive that type of interaction from you. It's not a right, it's a privilege. And it's important for you to stand in that, because I feel like you're going to run into a lot of people who are not going to understand. They're not going to want to, it's not they're not going to want to support you, but they're not necessarily going to like the direction that your choice takes you, because it takes you perhaps from their perspective further away from them. Play your cards close to your chest here. Don't feel like you have to justify your actions or your choices. This is a journey that only you can take for you. They have their journeys. They're going to be able to do that, in their own way and pace. Choose wisely the individuals that you let in to this space, because you are birthing a new version of yourself here. And yes, it's going to be for others. Others are going to benefit, but it's for you and you alone at this time. You get to create it. You get to play and have fun in this without others negatively influencing or just offering their 2 cents. I feel like that's really important. Okay, so now we are at our hopes and fears. What are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? 6 of coins. So I really feel like the fear that you have is about the level of investment. And I think we talked about that earlier. You're concerned that you're going to, like, now on this new path, you've got to invest some time in yourself in order to learn the new path and to make it home and make it feel comfortable, to even just invest in the time it takes to choose the path. And that means that other people, places, and things are going to go by the wayside for a little while, temporarily, until you find your traction and get into your flow. Others aren't going to be happy about it, but too bad, so sad. Sucks to be you. You are not the be all and end all for everyone and everything in your life. You're happy to help. You're happy to provide a safe space, but you have to feel safe first before you can create that safety for others. We teach others how we wish to be treated. This definitely is also a card of generosity. And I feel like the message that's coming through here is the harmony for you comes in receiving at this time, not in giving. So you're often in a generous mood. You often are generous with the people that you love. This, I feel, is kind of a pulling back on that a little bit and being open to receiving from those individuals, receiving from the universe the things that you need. You're on a new path and journey. Again, you don't know specifically how it's all going to turn out. You don't need to know how it's all going to turn out. This is a game of trust. And you're allowing the universe, you're playing the game with the universe, and you're allowing the universe to show you how to trust, because the universe is going to give you those things that you need. There's definitely a learning here and an educational component to this next journey and this next path. And I feel like the generosity that's your go-to. That's your what you're comfortable with is, well, I know how to do this easily, so I'll just lean in and do this. This is not going to let you do that. This is all about the receiving. So I always like to say, because I'm an A-type, I like to A-type the shit out of receiving, or A-type the shit out of doing nothing. Like, that's the only way that I can function. Not all of you are A-types, obviously, but the sentiment is the same. You want to lean in to this receiving energy, because the more you're able to do it, the quicker you find your flow on this path. And it's going to turn out very well for you. It's actually going to move a lot more quickly than you're anticipating, but you have to create the environment for it. And that's where that receiving comes in. All right, now we are at our outcome of your transformation. If you stay on course, who will you be on the other side of this journey? And what is the result of embracing the full death and rebirth cycle? Oh, interesting. 7 of Swords. So strategy, a new path, a new declaration that you are writing for yourself. I feel like this is a card of integrity. And I feel like that's exactly the issue that you're dealing with this month. You're going to be running into a lot of different people, and you're going to see in how you're interacting with them where they are at in their integrity levels. Are they manipulative with you because they're not happy about the fact that you're doing something that they don't want you to do? Are they completely and fully supportive of you and where you're going and growing? Where do they stand in their integrity? Are they going to help you in spite of, maybe that it might be a little bit on the difficult side for them to do so? Or are they going to leave you high and dry? I feel like you're going to see other people's motives. You're going to see other people's levels of integrity. And that is going to be the map that you use to carve out this next path for yourself. I want to be living always in my own integrity. And so how do I go about doing that? By witnessing what's going on around me, I can make decisions to say, yes, I want to be more like that, or hell no, I don't want to be like that. So I'm going to go in a different direction. I also feel that there's a legal consideration. This is not going to be for all of you, but I feel like for a good portion of you, about 2/3 of you, I feel there's a legal consideration, a legal matter, a documentation, contractual. You want to get someone to do a triple take on it. So it's not enough to have two pairs of eyes on it. I feel like you want to have a third pair of eyes on it, and then kind of a collaboration on it before you sign anything. I do believe we are in a Mercury retrograde at this time. So this actually kind of ties in with that. But it's not just about Mercury retrograde. I also feel like it's about the integrity of the people that are writing the contract. And likewise, if you're the person who's writing the contract, you want to really make sure that you are living in the integrity of that when you write it. Is this something I could live with? Is this something that I would be okay to sign? I feel that there's a shifting of the dynamics and the balancing of things. Your two of coins, the balancing of things. That's where you are making some major shifts and changes. Again, we teach others how we wish to be treated, and you might be shifting up your process and your approach to others because you are really trying to walk your talk and live your truth as you're finding your flow in this next path. Wow. So, Cancers, that is your transformational tarot reading for August. My goodness, there's a lot that is that's coming up and coming through for you guys. In case you are just new to me, I do offer private sessions. There's a lot going on here. I would love to be of service if you feel like you could use some help in navigating these waters. Feel free to reach out. I am always happy to be here for you. And otherwise, I hope you guys have the most amazing August. We will see you on the flip side, and transform well.